Hi everyone. So in this video we are going to discuss about sequential cycles, right? Sequential cycles. Before let's start with this topic, let me give a brief introduction on combination circuit, which we have seen in our last video. A combination circuit is a circuit which will perform some arithmetic and logical operations with the help of logic gates, right? So combination circuit will have the logic gates alone to perform some manipulations like arithmetic and logical operations. But whereas the real-time examples in the real world needs some storage of previous inputs or previous outputs to perform the present input and outputs, right? So we need some previous data or previous history of values to perform with the present data, right? Present inputs, right? So for this device we use in our digital circuit called sequential circuit, right? Sequential circuit as a common, we can tell it as a circuit with logic gates as well as a memory component is known as a sequential circuit, right? So the equivalent schematic of the sequential circuit can be drawn as, see, this is the input and this is the combinational circuit, which means we will have only logic gates in the circuit and this is the output and this is the input, and one more block is added here, which is memory, right? So memory to store the previous input, and this is the present input and this is the present output, and this is the previous output is again given as a feedback to the present input, right? And combination circuit is we know that it is generally logic gates, right? So a combination circuit along with a memory element is known as sequential circuit. This is the equivalent schematic of a sequential circuit, right? So the memory element which we are using here is flip-flop, right? So flip-flop is a memory device which we use to store the input or output of the previous values, right? And it is given as a feedback to the present input, right? So based on the previous input and present input, the combination circuit will perform the combination operations and the corresponding output will be produced, right? So as we know already, logic gates, right? Logic gates, let us assume AND gate, input A and B. So let us assume that A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 1, right? Because the input for the logic gates is binary values, digital values, zeros and ones. So if I give 0 and 1, the output will be, the operation of AND gate is A dot B, and the output will be 1 into 0 into 1, which is equal to 0. So output will be of binary form, right? So this logic gate is used here, right? So 7 types of logic gates used in combination circuit based on the application, right? Application on the expressions, right? Now the flip-flop is as I already told, the flip-flop is a memory device which can store a single bit of data, either it can store a bit of data 0 or a bit 1, right? Either it will store a bit 0 or 1, right? So it can store a single bit, means an individual flip-flop can store a single bit, either 0 or 1, right? Either it can store 0 or 1, right? A group of flip-flop combine to form a register, Normally 8 bits is equal to 1 register. This is a common, right? So one register means group of flip-flops. So if we store 8 bits, right? So if we use 8 flip-flops to store 8 bits, then it is known as a register, right? So group of registers is commonly known as memory, right? Okay. So this flip-flop is again classified into SR flip-flop, types of flip-flop. So FF means flip-flop, right? So first one SR flip-flop, second one JK flip-flop, and third one T flip-flop, and fourth one D flip-flop. Right? SR flip-flop, JK flip-flop, T flip-flop, and D flip-flop. Right? Set 3 flip-flop, Johnson Kimberley flip-flop, toggle flip-flop, D means data flip-flop. Right? So these flip-flops plays a vital role in digital electronics or in all electronic gadgets applications. Right? Without memory, we cannot do any kind of applications, real-time applications. Right? So these flip-flops play a vital role in sequential circuits. Right? So in next video, we'll discuss the SR flip-flop, JK flip-flop, T flip-flop, and D flip-flop operations. Right? We'll discuss the operations of these 4 kind of flip-flops. Right? Thank you.